Yeah, what I would say is to just to be reminded of who we are. There's a also a theme that was always going back to the people and saying, "Remember who you are and where you came from." Um, yeah, and just be reminded that um, we're immigrants, we're refugees, we come from other places, right? And that's usually God's heart is obviously to love everyone, but He always has this special concern, right? He goes above and beyond for the most vulnerable and marginalized in society. And usually in the Old Testament, He would name them: the widow, the orphan, and the foreigner. And interestingly, the foreigner, He would actually go even further and say, if there's someone who is a foreigner in your midst, treat him as one of your own. And I would invite you to and challenge the church to ask that question. What type of society do we envision the kingdom, a kingdom-like society? And I think that thinking about how we're treating our neighbor, are we treating them as one of your own? Are the things that you're seeing happening to migrant communities out there, is that the way that we're called to treat our neighbor, or that we treat one of our own? I think that's in a biblical perspective. I think in a how do we engage practically? I think it's is seeking out ways in which we can contribute to this work, looking for organizations that maybe are doing the work, because sometimes we might not know how to engage, but there's organizations out there that have been doing the work for many years, and they're Christian organizations, or they're uh, organizations of different faiths out there. And so I invite you to seek one of those organizations that you can learn about and join their work. And lastly, I would say the immigration issue is very complex, and there's a lot of nuance to it. And I would say, in the words of Oscar Romero, we cannot do everything, but there are things that we can do. And I invite you as a church and your community to ask, what is it, the one thing that you can do?